most famous and treasured author of Poland, has left an everlasting impact to all of those who have read his works. The impressions left on the hearts of readers are understood through the connections of his life, along with personal experiences to the fascinating stories he preserves. Adam Mickiewicz was born on December 24th, on the Christmas Eve of 1798, in Zaosze, near Novogródek, into a small noble family. During this period, he was born in Russia because of the territorial boundaries, but this was still considered Polish land in the hearts of true Poles. Growing up, Adam was not allowed to speak, read, write, or learn his traditional language, Polish. He had been under the foreign rule of Russia because of the partition of Poland, where Poland had disappeared from the world map for 123 years. The country of Poland was equally divided between Russia, Austria, and Germany. Adam was not allowed to act upon Polish traditions, express Polish heritage, or even talk about Poland. He had attended a secondary school in Novogródek, which was run by the Dominican order. While attending this school, he was expected of a very high scholarly level, and he had to accept high disciplinary actions. In 1812, Adam and his family experienced financial problems and the death of their father, which pronounced deep levels of depression. Adam had lost his fatherly role model at the age of 14, after which he was obliged to take his father's place to support himself and his family. That same year, Napoleon of France had declared a campaign against Russia to return Poland back to its original state and its appearance on the map once again. 3 years later, in 1815, Adam enrolled as a student at the University of Vilna, which was the best Polish university at the time. Here, the best scholars and scientists are a part of the faculty to continue the academic significance for the future scholars and scientists. During his studies, Adam focused on literature and language, which eventually brought him to be one of the greatest Polish writers, playwrights, and scholars. Here in Vilna, he became one of the founders and leaders for the Philomaths, which was an encouraging group for learning as a means for social progress and freedom for the Poles. This organization was capable of influencing a large amount of his peers and other students. Eventually, this Philomath group had gotten him arrested and banned from the Russian territory after he spent his time in Russian prison for having a secret society where the Polish language was spoken, written, and learned. Due to his banishment and exile, most of his pieces of writing longed for his homeland and for his Polish ways. These pieces emphasize the beauty of Polish land, the scent of Polish air, and the life he lived long ago with his family. In 1835, Adam had married a Polish woman named Selina Szymanowska, but due to poverty, this was an unhappy marriage. All of the struggles and misfortunes that had occurred during the time of Adam Mickiewicz led him to write some of the most successful pieces of literature of time. Some of these pieces include the two most elaborate and famous ones, which are The Last Foray in Lithuania and Grażyna. Both of these pieces connect to the struggles of Adam Mickiewicz's life and his historical experiences. His more famous and elaborate piece, which emphasizes every prospect of Poland and his life, is The Last Foray in Lithuania. This is a story of two warring noble families that experienced the fear from the foreign rule of Russia, just like Adam had in his lifetime. During Adam's life in France, in the time of his banishment, he longed for his life in Lithuania, which was in unison with Poland at the time. This particular nostalgia is seen and felt by the reader in the opening lines of The Last Foray in Lithuania. Lithuania, my country, you are as good health. How much one should prize you, he can only tell who has lost you. Your beauty and splendor I view and describe here today, for I long after you. In this epic poem, he places himself in the shoes of the main character, Thaddeus. He allows his character to experience that life that he has had, which eventually allows readers to understand his struggles and restrictions through the language he uses and foreign expressions and traditions that Thaddeus had to experience. For his country, Thaddeus had gone into battle against Russia, and he had gone into battle for his family, which relate to what Adam had accomplished. He had helped France in the campaign against Russia, and he had fought for the survival of his family when his father had passed away. The fighting that is presented to readers through The Last Foray in Lithuania and through the entirety of Adam's life is also presented in another work of Adam, which is the short literary poem of Grażyna. Grażyna is the story of a woman who goes against her husband and disguises herself in his battle clothing to be able to fight for her country against the Knights of the Cross, otherwise known as the Germans. Grażyna dies of a deathly wound she receives, which is something she has no control over. Readers learn about her death towards the end of the story when Adam Mickiewicz writes, "Light the ashes." They light it. Fire booms. A duke continues, "Do you know whose corpse on that pile is dying?" Deafening silence. "A woman, but the masculine armor hides it. A woman of charm, but a hero with spirit." Again, Adam Mickiewicz is capable of putting himself in the shoes of the main character, but this time a woman. He presents to readers his life and his struggles and death through the main character, Grażyna. Grażyna goes to fight, just like Adam does, and she dies of an uncontrollable wound, just like Adam dies of an uncontrollable disease, cholera. Adam Mickiewicz struggled to keep his life throughout his lifetime by breaking rules that could have cost him his life. He has presented to readers that his country is something he cherishes and that nothing has let him stop speaking and learning his own language. Throughout his life, he has had to fight against foreign control to produce his famous literary pieces that include much literary composure in many aspects of his life. These two products of history combined are what left a great literary and historical impact on readers to this day.